Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm playing a video series of videos I've been doing for the while now. I'll go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this. Folks, I'm doing a root beer related review, so I'm starting off happy. It remains to be seen if that stays the same way. But anyway, till we get to any potential unpleasantness or pleasantness, this is a Schrodinger's root beer situation is what I'm talking about. But no, I'm inside the truck, clearly. Whilst I'm inside the truck, I'm wearing a cool shirt. Folks, when I wear a cool shirt, I like to highlight the shirt because, damn it, when else am I going to get to show this stuff off? I'm 36, damn it. I don't get to show off my neat clothes that I like very often because most of the time it's just work shit. I work all the time. Yes, indeed, folks, I'm wearing my Boom Doofmander shirt. I love this shirt. This is one of the shirts that I like to wear when I go to conventions. Because I go to conventions, it depends on the convention, to be fair. But typically, I go, if I go to a comic convention or an anime convention, something like that, people see this and they're like, that guy knows where to buy good shirts, and I do. Anyway, folks, what am I trying for y'all today? Well, I went out and I grabbed some sushi from the Fresh Market because I had to buy some shit at a store close to the Fresh Market, and they had Boom! It's Zevia Zero Calorie soda, creamy root beer. Zevia's been around for a while. It's zero sugar, it's caffeine free, non-GMO, all that bullshit. I've never tried it because it seemed like it might be nasty. But they had it over there. It was by the register. And I was going to do their cola because it's a good base to try. But then I saw that they had root beer. And folks, Brandon Wenzel loves root beer. I love pineapple. I love root beer. I love kung fu movies. I like video games. A variety of things. I'm a man of many tastes and flavors. Can a zero-calorie root beer be worth even a fraction of a damn? That's what we're about to find out. So let's give it a shot, folks. Open the soda. I'm so tired. And on top of that, I'm tired, but I went over there and I just got through doing a review of the Boom Gatorade Fast Twitch flavors. So I've got quite a bit of caffeine in me. So I'm feeling wacky. It smells like a creamy root beer, but with a twinge of something potentially unhappy. Potentially something that'll make me unhappy. Damn it, I'm all super tired. That's a lot of weird things. Some are yes, some are no, some are big no's. I'll say this, it's creamy. I will 100% give them that. It is creamy. Now, is it root beer? Sort of. I'm not... If you didn't tell me it was root beer, I think I'd be able to discern that it was root beer. It does have a root beer-esque taste. Now, I have to mention this. When it comes to root beer, especially commercial root beer, there's sort of two camps, in my opinion. You have people on one side that are more mug and A&W. Sweeter root beers, they're commercially very accessible for most people. They're fine, but they have their place. On the other side, you have root beers like Barks and Dad's, which are a little bit more complex, a little bit harsher in their flavors. Not for everybody, but, if you're more root beer oriented, they're probably going to be more for you. I clearly fall in the camp of the Barks and Dads. Where does this fall into? Well, it's sort of in its own dimension of fuckery, because it's weird, but if I were going to go over, if I had to put it in one of those two camps, I would say it's closer to mug and A&W. that already makes me a little bit sad because I like Mug, I like A&W for certain things. I don't hate them or anything. They're not great representations of what I like in root beer. This has a lot of that. It's very, I mean, it's zero sugar, but it's leaning into that end of things. Like, there's not a lot of complexity here, despite there being a lot going on, which is weird to say. It's mostly just sort of creamy and sort of sweet. There's a little bit of a root beer flavor to it. But it gets mired down, I'm guessing because of the zero sugar aspect. And I've made this point numerous times in numerous videos. Zero sugar is not usually that great of a thing to have going for you in terms of flavor. These actually are zero sugar, but they taste good. I did a review of Pepsi Zero Sugar, their new and improved flavor, not that long ago. Go watch that video. It's already up at the time I'm doing this. That one works pretty well too. This one could do with some tweaking. It's not horrendous. It's not as bad as I was expecting. But wouldn't say that it's great either. Because while it does have sort of a creamy root beer aspect to it, like I said, you can taste the sort of zero sugar aspect. It's not egregious compared to some things that I've had, but it's there and I don't like it. And then it has this weird cavalcade of aftertastes that I don't like very much. They're sort of bitter, and I think some of it is just liquid sadness that they've encapsulated and put into here. I don't like this all that much. If it wasn't for the funky aftertaste, and it is a funky aftertaste, I could almost get down with this. Because even though it would never be a great root beer for me. That wouldn't happen. But the initial taste kind of works. It is creamy. There is a root beer aspect to it. And even the zero sugar aspect is still relatively hidden. But the problem is once the creaminess and the root beer aspect fade away, I don't know if it's the zero sugar aspect or if it's the what the hell ever aspect of it. But man, when that weird aftertaste kicks in, that's not good. I'll say this. All hyperbole aside, it's not the worst root beer I've had. I've had some really shitty root beer. I'd have to think on it as like what the actual worst is, but I can get where they're going with it. And being that it is 0 calories, 0 sugar, it could have been, the worst one I've ever had was the probiotic root beer. Because that tasted like root beer for 0.2 seconds, and then it just tasted like medicine. That's the worst one. This is better than that. Definitely better than the probiotic root beer. I still have one of those, by the way. It's in my fridge. Go watch that review. It's like 2 years old now. I still have one can left. And I'm fully intent on just letting it... I think that if I just let it sit and fester for long enough, it might eventually turn into the cure for cancer. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, okay. I would never get this. The two questions have to be asked. Would I get this again? Would I recommend it? No, and probably no. I would never get this again as a root beer. Root beer is too sacred to me to go over there and ever institute any type of a substitute. Even if I decide that I'm going to go over there and drop all the sugar in my life and do all the right things, maybe one day that'll happen. Root beer is one of those things that either I'm going to drink root beer as friggin' Thor intended and in all of its deliciousness, or I'm just not going to drink it at all. I'm not going to drink diet root beer. I'm not going to drink fucking blah, blah, blah. No. This for me, even though it's not horrible. It's not a horrible drink. But it's not anything that I would ever drink again. It's not even on the right spectrum of root beers that I would like to begin with. But then you add in the 0 calorie, the 0 sugar stuff. It's not egregiously bad or anything. I could almost see acquiring a taste for it if I had it enough. But I would never get to that point because it's just not really for me. As to whether or not I would recommend it, if you're looking for root beer, no. If you want a 0 calorie, 0 sugar drink, soda thing, You could do worse. You could do worse. For me, like I said, it's just an affront to root beer. But to other people who maybe aren't as emotionally attached to root beer as I am, maybe. 5 things before I get out of here, folks. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular this week. Monumental rest of month. 2 pennies here, folks. You can go over there and have yourselves a truly root beer-tastic rest of your life. But I'm talking real root beer. I'm talking your Virgils. I'm talking your Dads, your Barks. Yeah, like I said, I'll even give you A&W. Mug. At least with A&W, I get what they're going. Mug used to be my favorite root beer for years and years until I started to like more mature root beers. So, final 2 things, folks. Number 1, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not as possible it is, however, always appreciated. But we can't do it all the time. I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing to do in the world, especially if you're in a state like I am right now where I'm over here and I'm up all night and I've been eating stuff and drinking things and doing reviews. I'm just full of all of the things. Every chemical sensation in my brain is like, I don't know what the fuck to do with what you're giving me right now. Do you want to be awake? Do you want to be asleep? Do you want to be full? Do you want to be... What are you doing right now? And to my brain, I apologize. But it's important when we find ourselves, even in wacky states like I might be, mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there and you're going to go out to a Whole Foods or a Fresh Market or whatever the hell I was at, because I forget at this point. And you're going to find yourself some Zevia Zero Calorie root beer, as I did earlier today. And maybe you're going to go over there and you're just about to reach for it. And then you're going to stay your hand because you'll remember my review. Remember the Doofmander shirt. And you'll go over there and you'll be like, you know what? I don't need that in my life. Then you hit me up in the comments section. Be like, Brandon, you saved my life from crappy root beer. And now I'm going to go over there and name at least one of my children after you. Now that's fine, but I will say this. Rather than going over there and naming your child Brandon and cursing them with the name that I got stuck with, it's fine, but it's never been my favorite name. But at the same time, I don't really have a good replacement for it, so it's just very okay. Lots of people give me weird nicknames. They like to do B-Dub, B, what are some other... Well, I've had various other ones that had nothing to do with my name. But anyway, so instead of going over there and naming your kid Brandon, how about just letting me name your kid? I'm just saying that's a better option. Or conversely, don't let me name your child. Probably a good plan. Instead, maybe just go out and get yourself some banging ass root beer. Bye.